My flatmate left about a week ago. No great loss. He was behind on the rent. He never tried to hide the fact that he was a filthy slob. Left greasy pizza boxes and empty beer cans all over the living room. Never flushed and went for weeks without doing a load of laundry. Problem is, he didn't take his cat when he left. He wasn't supposed to have a cat in the first place. The tenancy agreement states no pets in messy handwriting at the bottom of the typed page as if it was added in as an afterthought. He told me the cat really wasn't his. It just showed up one day, and he hadn't been able to get rid of it. I've lost count of the number of times I shut the door in that animal's face, tossed its kibble outside, or aimed the garden hose at it. It knows I don't like it, and I know it hates me. However, every time I chased it away, it kept coming back, weaseling its way back inside through the bathroom door that doesn't shut properly, or rushing inside behind my flatmate's legs whenever he returned home. It's one of those feral-looking striped creatures. Tabby or something, with maybe a pinch of tortoise shell and the ginger patch under its skin. It's got round orange eyes that some people might call pretty, but to me the color looks like old urine. What? It sits and stares at me with unblinking candor, which gives me shivers. I can't work out what it's thinking and what kind of thing always makes it... That kind of thing always makes me uneasy. Anyway, my flatmate up and left 2 days while I was working, leaving the back door unlocked and his room full of trash. I came home to find the house empty, and of course the first thing I did was check to see if he'd taken that bloody animal with him. He hadn't. It was sitting in the middle of my bed as if it owned the place, giving me one of those malevolent stares as I walked in the room. I chased it outside right away, kicking up its furry arse and sending a bunch of curses along with it before slamming the door behind it. Satisfied I'd seen the last of it, I grabbed a pile of cleaning supplies from the laundry room and set to ridding the house of all traces of my absent flatmate and that nasty piece of fur. It was back in the morning, despite the fact that I'd sprayed Lysol all over the bathroom windowsill as a deterrent. It was sitting on the kitchen bench top when I walked out to make my morning coffee, licking its paw and ignoring me. I shouted at it to scram, but it took its good time to saunter down the length of my bench and jump lightly down onto the floor. He gave me a derisive stare over its shoulder before lifting its tail and spraying a shower of piss all over my cupboard doors. Just like that. No warning, no hesitation. Jerk. I chased it around the kitchen a few times, yelling and swearing before I bolted for the bathroom and leapt out the window. I drenched the kitchen in bleach in an attempt to get rid of the smell, but cat piss is just one of those smells that linger. I saw it again this morning when I went to go for work, staring at me from the fence with its lips pulled back in a feline snarl. I picked up a rock to hurl at it and jumped down the other side in a clatter of claws against the wood, and I hoped this time it was gone for good. The neighbors over there were always on holiday, so I wouldn't find anyone there willing to feed it. Best thing I could do would be to move on, far away from where it's not wanted. It wasn't here when I came home this evening. I let myself inside and then looked cautiously through the house, hoping against hope that I hadn't returned it. It hadn't returned. No sign of it. Feeling pleased with myself, I kicked off my shoes and decided to make myself a steak dinner to celebrate. I guess I should have known that wouldn't be the end of it. I'm not the type of person who enjoys sustained periods of good luck. My dinner was fine, great in fact, but that wasn't when the trouble started. The trouble started when I dropped my fork down the waste disposal as I was cleaning up after. I immediately reached in the hole to grab the fork, stupidly forgetting that the unit was already switched on. I could attempt to describe the horrendous pain I'm currently experiencing, but I doubt I could do a very good job of it. Suffice to say, I know the only reason I'm still standing is because my hand is caught, from the wrist down, in the inner workings of the waste disposal blades. It's not a pretty sight, the part that I can see. Lots of blood and gore. I'm trying not to look too hard. I've also tried hollering for help, even though I know it's pointless. As I said, the neighbors are away, and on the other side, there's nothing but an empty lot. I can't say how long I've been standing here now. I can hear the constant tick of the clock on the wall behind me, but I'm unable to twist around enough to see it. I'm getting weaker, I know that much, but what's left of my hand and wrist is too tightly wedged for me to be able to free it. I'm not sure whether, when I first realized that I had company, maybe 2 hours have passed, maybe less, when I feel that itchy feeling between my shoulder blades, that distinctive feeling that someone is watching me. I tense up, wondering if delirium is beginning to creep in, and then I hear it. A plaintive meow that I thought I'd never have to hear again. The cat pads along the bench top, its eyes fixed on me, and stops just out of my reach of my remaining good arm. It blinks those urine-colored eyes and yawns, plainly bored with the situation. If my mouth wasn't so dry and my spirits so low, I would hiss at it and tell it to go, but I just can't gather up the strength. After a few minutes, it jumps down onto the floor and disappears. I shut my eyes, swaying gently, and wonder how many days will pass before someone comes looking for me. Perhaps one of my workmates, worried I won't show up for work tomorrow, will call on the way home tomorrow evening. For now, that's my only hope, and I'm clinging to it. I'm not even sure what the sensation is when I first feel it. I think maybe my foot has gone to sleep, but then I look down with bleary, pain-filled eyes and see the cat. It's right beneath me now, industriously licking my bare toes. I use some of my previous reserves of energy to kick it away. Go, I whisper. Get, shoo, scram. It's back all too soon. Once again, I crouched on the floor beside my leg, and it's crouched on the floor beside my leg and looking at my toe. Sorry, I'm losing a lot of blood. I gaze down, but I'm unable to stir myself to kick again. I can't tell how much blood I've lost, but I'm guessing it must be a lot. I'm weak now and failing fast. The first bite is strangely pleasant. Sometimes, like the acupuncture treatment I had once. Prickly without being painful. Not that I'd be aware of pain anywhere else in my body right now. However, as the blasted animal becomes more comfortable and sure of itself, it settles down to feed properly. I give it a few half-hearted jabs with my other foot, but I just can't sustain my deference. I'm slowly being eaten alive by that